I just realized na parang it changed through like the years. It starts off, tsaka depends sa stage in my life. When I was younger, it's just ick. And then, of course, you have more experiences. It becomes a turn off. And then later on, hindi, deal breaker yan. Kasi parang meron siyang classification. Ick is like parang parang, ew, ayoko yon or something like that. It can be trivial. Pero pag sinabi mong turn off, parang, wait, medyo major, pero parang preference yon. But the deal breaker is like values na.
Yeah.
Like my principles we don't align. And so it changes talaga. It changes with the different seasons of my life.
Talk to any member of Gen Z and they'll tell you that it's never been harder to find a partner. We often get the ick, or what our elders refer to as turn-offs or deal breakers. But our preferences may be preventing us from truly getting to know someone. From PhilSTAR Life and PumaPodcast, welcome to Generations, a conversation about how different age groups see the world and why it matters. In this episode, a Gen Z, a millennial, an Xennial, and a Gen Xer talk about navigating today's dating scene. Are we always looking for the ick that we end up killing? In this episode, Mae Cruz Alviar, the director of the hit series It's Okay to Not Be Okay and many blockbuster films, and Raco Ruiz, visual artist and content creator, join me, PhilSTAR Life columnist Angel Martinez, and PumaPodcast editor-at-large Jaemark Tordecilla for a conversation about dating, icks, and whether we sometimes get in our own way of finding love. So I'm Angel and I'm part of Gen Z, as you may know.
I'm Jaemark. I'm an Xennial.
I am Mae Cruz Alviar. Yeah, Gen X.
I'm Raco Ruiz and I am a Zillennial.
Okay, so I guess we can start the conversation by sharing a little bit about ourselves in the sense like what are things that we have considered icks, or in your terms, turn-offs or deal breakers?
Do I go first? Should I go first? Okay.
You sound like you have the most stories.
No, I would say I was a recipient of like I'm the icky one, or like I guess it's so funny because like the things that my past, I'd say people who've had the ick with me are also the icks I have with other people. So it's like an ick cycle, and I would say that main ick umbrella term is just like being too much too soon. There, that it's like me also. I'm like. I have this problem where I'm too much too soon sometimes. Pero kung ginawa naman sa akin, I'm like also like turn off by it. So I guess that is like the overall category for like the small things. Like for example, first date pa lang may gift na, ganun. Or like I love you kagad 3 days pa lang. Or like why aren't you replying? Pero we only been talking for 2 days. Stuff like that.
Teka, ginawa mo yan? May first date?
I think I was like blinded by like rose-colored glasses or something like that. So I guess it all depends on the balance. I think that's where I got the ick. It's like it's imbalanced. Pero I think with the right match, it's like kung sobra ka, pero gusto naman nila, it's a match. It's all about finding the match, I think.
Direct, let's rewind.
Yeah,
Okay.
rewind.
I just realized na parang it changed through like the years. It starts off, tsaka depends sa stage in my life. When I was younger, it's just ick. And then, of course, you have more experiences. It becomes a turn off. And then later on, hindi, deal breaker yan. Kasi parang meron siyang classification. Ick is like parang parang, ew, ayoko yon or something like that. It can be trivial. Pero pag sinabi mong turn off, parang, wait, medyo major, pero parang preference yon. But the deal breaker is like values na.
Yeah.
Like my principles we don't align. And so it changes talaga. It changes with the different seasons of my life. So when I was younger, yung mga ick ko like, ew, yung shoes niya hindi bagay dun sa or and then later on, yung naging turn off ko was, ano ba yung turn off ko? Like, ang yabang niya, or parang like he talked to me, he was so arrogant. We were just talking about manager's check, tapos the way he talked to me, parang nakakabobo. So parang sabi ko, I don't like him. Tapos yung next naman, deal breaker, wait, babaero, sinungaling, yung dating history niya is like this, or it can also be religion. Sobrang hindi kami match. So it changes. It changes depends on the stage of your life.
Angel, ikaw, ick. Mahilig ka ba sa mayabang?
Not at all. But that's the thing, that's a problem I noticed with Gen Z. Parang nagiging pantay na yung ick sa turn off and deal breaker. Parang these really trivial things that you're supposed to parang ignore once you get to know the person. They're kind of becoming the same level as like a deal breaker na I don't want to be with you anymore. Okay, fine. Like, aminado din naman ako na icks have sometimes gotten in the way of me getting to know a person.
So, example.
Yeah. So, fun fact, kasi in the column, I put like a hypothetical situation. Now, picture this. You meet a guy and he has these characteristics. Those were actual icks I had about certain guys, but I didn't want to admit it, so I just made it look like it was a pretend situation. Yeah. Yeah, so there was like in the first paragraph of my column, I say na I met a guy and we hit it off and then we exchanged Instagram handles. And then in his Instagram bio, he had the name of the high school he went to, but not his college.
That's an it for you.
Yeah, because he came from a prestigious high school, but he didn't come from a big 4 college. And he told that to me. So I was like, kinakahiya mo kung saan ka nag-college? Like, you'd rather put your high school? So that was an ick.
Oh, I think it's because it's a reflection of his values. That's why.
Maybe, okay.
It shows you more with showing little.
So, is that a case of the cover-up being worse than the crime? Like, if he had put his college there, tapos hindi prestigious?
I wouldn't have had a problem with that. Some people find that an ick though, like among members of my generation, if you didn't come from a big 4 school. But that's a completely different discussion. So, yeah, it's just something I noticed among members of Gen Z na we're very quick to like cancel someone to say na hindi natin sila type because they don't meet like these very narrow criteria, which I guess didn't really exist during your time.
But oh my God, I totally get why though. You know why people are so choosy now. It's because there are a lot of options now too. Like for example, like if we wind the clocks back, let's say even before all of our times, like our grandmother's times, ganun. Kung sino yung neighbors mo, classmates mo, yun lang talaga options mo. It's like you have 20 options. Eh, syempre, so what if they're like, have toxic traits? You're like, this is my only option. But now like the net is so vast. It's global. So like,
so true.
Yeah, the smallest, the smallest ick you'll get, I'm like, next. Even like, it's a metaphor actually for dating these days. A swipe left, swipe right. Like that's how fast someone can just give up on you.
Yeah.
So it's hard to make real world connections with all those options.
How much of it is yun nga, that na the world is your oyster, you're always thinking you can do better? And how much of it is yung mababaw ka lang talaga na any small ick?
It's just suffer naman. So like,
Like,
choose your battles, I guess. Because like, I encourage my friends all the time, don't settle, like be choosy. Kasi eventually you'll get someone that matches your criteria. Pero minsan kasi it's too choosy to a detriment.
right.
It's like, you had a good one, but you were too choosy, so you let go of it. But I'd say be choosy if it protects you. But don't be too choosy na maarte. Like they wear Crocs, okay? That makes them less of a person now. Like, it has to be like values, not really the shallow things.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm hearing 2 different things, di ba? Yung juicy ka, hindi ka naman juicy. And then value. So, alin ba talaga? Because when we're talking about ick, kababawan lang. But is there a value judgment here or?
Kung related sa kababawan, I think yung value. Like, for example, like, with me, like one ick I would get before was just like being a little too affectionate right away. Because I think the value there is like, you're so quick to give your love away. Like, it's not like something you value. So
Hindi
it's like,
mababaw yun, yung ano na yun.
But it's a small thing that got connected to like a bigger thing. Which is why I think with things like that, it's okay to be choosy. But for example, shallow things like, I don't like his haircut. It's like, it's such a reason to stop dating someone, I think.
Direk, ikaw, yung ick. Sa ick level ba dati may binasted ka na? Na hindi pa value judgment o hindi pa turn off, hindi pa deal breaker?
Yeah, meron. Kasi first date, it was the first date and then he was saying, oh, baka puyat ka, inom ka na ng vitamins. Or, I mean, to others it may seem concerned, pero parang feeling ko, daddy ba kita? parang feeling ko, wait, we have to be, or like, this guy asked me out and then he said, hi po, pwede po, ask ko lang po if pwede kayo mayaya mag-coffee po. Parang ako, I don't want to go out with a guy na po ng po sa akin.
Yeah.
Parang,
Or like your handsome.
well, I work with him. Tapos nun, because I'm a director, po siya ng po sa akin. So parang for me, why ka po ng po? We have to be on the same plane. It has to be a guy who doesn't like feel intimidated by me, my position. So I think that's an ick. Na parang po pa lang, parang dun pa lang, okay, hindi to magpo-progress. Kasi kung hindi, kamusta ka po? Kumain ka na po? Parang hindi siya cute eh.
Yeah.
Parang,
How about the flip side? Like, have you gotten over an ick and discovered after the ick, there's something worth exploring there?
Well, no, because I still don't have a boyfriend. So I will have to get back to you on that.
Viewers of generations, you're informed now that Miss Angel Martinez doesn't have a boyfriend. So, but direct, ikaw, have you ever gotten over the ick and gotten into a more serious?
well, okay, so I'm the last of my friends to get married. I got married at 41. So
that's a little.
So parang I think I had a lot of icks. I had a lot of icks, and then people were saying like, my friends were saying, "May magpaabot ka naman kasi parang baka hindi ka masyadong maabot, baka masyadong mataas standards mo." But it's not like, you want to lower your standards. It's just that I know what I want. I'm very sure about that. And every time may mamimit ako, alam ko na eh. Also, because I've been through a lot, meron ng mga heartaches. There's that fear of rejection also. So meron din like sometimes, like I'm trying to analyze now, was that an ick or was it a fear? So parang sometimes you're just labeling it as an ick, but then actually you're just scared to get rejected and linilabel mo na ick siya. But yeah, it took me a long time because parang it really, I waited for the right person kasi parang for me, I don't want to just settle just because everyone is getting married, everyone's having babies, and I was really focused on my career. So that's why it took long. But every time I would date someone din naman, parang, hindi eh. Parang meron talaga akong specific na gusto. So when that person came, parang I knew, check. So yun. Meron din siyang like parang micro Icks, pero you get past it because you see all the major, green flags.
Like, it's okay. It adds flavor.
Yeah. Hindi nga siya ick actually. Yeah, talaga ganun eh.
No, I swear that's the funniest thing about love. It's like, it's gonna turn the icks into things you like.
Yeah, pero
if it's the right person. And like, I guess also with being choosy, I have so many like friends also who are pressured to like, I need to be with someone because like I'm like 29 na ganun. But I am also telling them like, okay, half of your friends are married, but check again in 10 years. How many of them will wish they weren't married? So it's like, I think the ratio, like even scientifically, is like 50-50 ganun. So don't rush it.
Yeah.
It's better to be like with the right person and just wait a bit longer than, okay, you rushed being with the wrong person and your whole life will be like difficult.
Exactly. No regrets.
Yeah.
Direct May alluded to something like using Icks as a defense mechanism. Like, have you ever done that?
No, yeah, because like
Good. How is that
I think
good?
it's gonna protect you from getting hurt again. Like for example, okay, one ick I have, I guess icks that I have is just associated with negative romantic experiences I've had. Like for example, if I had an ex that brought me like bad trauma, or like the relationship brought me trauma, not the person, I would experience those traits again in a new person and be like, wait, I don't want to go down this road again. Just
So
like that. Just as simple as
specifically,
that.
ano yung ick na yan?
I'd just say like maybe being too controlling or like too.
That sounds like a red flag and not an ick.
And you can notice the ick like in smaller things. Like for example, you're doing something that's harmless to the person and they're trying to change it. Like as soon as like maybe the first week of dating, I'll notice that and be like, okay, maybe not with this person. Just because like it's all too familiar. You don't want to repeat it again.
Angel,
I
ick
did-
as a defense mechanism?
Yeah, I actually did find out about that for the column na parang the ick is a biological response. It really is just kind of a way to protect yourself to ensure that you end up with the right mate. It was like something passed down through evolution. But I think the problem is, like, circling back to something Raco said about like how dating culture today just dehumanizes and makes people like so disposable. Now you can just discard someone immediately if they don't fit like really tiny criteria. Okay, so I had to ask my parents kasi for the article because like they're the closest I have to, you know, like lived experience. And my mom got the ick from my dad like when she first met him kasi he was super yabang daw and he kept speaking in English. But then she was like, if I didn't get to know your dad, you wouldn't be here. And yet me, if I met someone na mayabang who was parang trying to mansplain stuff to me in English, I wouldn't give him the time of day anymore. So now I'm thinking na, am I being avoidant and then am I missing out on my soulmate? Or am I just trying to maintain like a standard? I don't even know how to strike the balance.
Oh my gosh. Like, I think, honestly, dating apps are the source of all evil, right, these days. Like, sure, it seems like they're helping you. Okay, there are some success stories naman. I'll give credit where it's due. But, like, most of the successful relationships I've met is just because, like, they met in person and took the time to know each other, not texting. Like, a whole day talking in person. Like, for example, like, here's one thing that's super shallow about dating apps too. Like, you romanticize this person already, first day talking, then you meet up, ay, hindi pala siya matangkad. Or ay, guwapo lang pala siya sa pic niya. So, it's better, like, you meet them in person, know exactly what you're seeing. So, like, you won't fall in love with, like, a projection, but the real thing right away. Yeah.
Expectation versus reality.
Yes. And I think now that the pandemic's over, people can give up dating apps. Because before, it's the only option. Like, because you can't go out. But now, there are events every weekend. You want someone athletic, go to a run club. If you want, like, a nerd, like, join a book club.
I'm taking notes right now.
Yeah. I mean, go to the community where your type is. I think that's a good technique. Like, dating in the real world.
Tsaka meet a lot of people. Kasi you'll never know what you're looking for if you don't know. Tsaka syempre list din. What are you, like that's what I did, honestly.
Okay.
I listed it. Parang, okay, what am I looking for in a guy or someone I want to marry? I listed it all down. What are my deal breakers? At least it's getting to know. Kasi parang sometimes you're figuring it out. But of course, I did that after like years of dating. That was like when I was in my 30s. Na, teka, sandali, saan ba ako papunta? What do I want? At one point also, I was so heartbroken that I said, parang, my mom was so distraught when my dad passed away. Mamamatay din naman yung asawa mo. Is fast forward ko na dun sa moving on. So, parang I was that jaded na parang ayoko na lang ikasal. And then I even prayed, sabi ko, sige na, God, okay na to. I'll just take it, single blessedness na maybe that's what you want to say to me. And then, hindi nangyari yun. So, parang sometimes, you just do it because you're hurt or you say things like that. Pero later on, when you're over it, you'll realize, wait, I'm ready. And you also have to, check yourself. Are you ready? Kasi baka mame, you're going out dating, you're wasting your time. You can just go have fun and meet people. Pero later on, parang, okay, I think I'm ready. And I want to meet people and I'm seriously looking for someone I want to be with. And you also have to know, why am I going out with this person? Is it just for fun? Or am I looking for someone to be with forever? Kasi yun din yun parang what's your intention? Baka mamaya you're also wasting the other person's time.
Yeah.
But you know what's also such a I think I'm a case study in this with all my theories and stuff because like, my current girlfriend now, she told me in the start she doesn't want a boyfriend and like she doesn't want to settle down with anyone anytime soon. And then it just happened naturally. Di namin pinilit. I just like, kept being her friend and it happened naturally. And she was never on dating apps. So I would have never met her on a dating app. And here I was on dating apps for like on and off 5 years, disaster after disaster. And like the one time I gave up dating apps is when I actually met someone. So, and that listing is so funny, Direct, that you mentioned. It reminded me, I made this doodle in high school of what my dream girl is. And then like 15 years later, pati yung guhit ko ng dream girl na yun, kamukha yung girlfriend ko ngayon. So I was like, it helps to really know what you want so that when you see it, you're like, oh, this is the one. But also, all the disasters are good. All the like missteps because it'll be like, this is what I don't want or this is what I don't want to do in a relationship.
Yeah.
But kawawa na lang yung mistake na ginawa mo or victim ng mistake in that time, but it has a purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although I would put, that's terrible advice, yung just be a friend to the girl.
Uy, di ako abangan.
So many heartbreaks have happened.
I kind of like, what I did was,
Wag, guys, wag niyong gagawin yun.
what I did was, in that
Move on.
situation was, I was ready to move on actually. I was like, okay, she wants to be a friend, I'll just be her friend. I won't like her now. And then she started liking me. So my intent wasn't a bangers. And okay, I'll admit where I'm wrong. I've had experiences where I was a bangers.
Okay.
And
So
it
the
didn't
one
end
time
well.
it worked, it worked for the one,
Yeah,
basically.
the one time it worked when I wasn't a bangers. I was like, I genuinely gave up. I was like, okay, you really just want to be my friend? I'll treat you like a friend. And it worked. Turns out it worked to my advantage. Don't stage it though. Don't choreograph that. Don't be like, I'll fake being her friend so that she can like me. But I think if you genuinely like, don't put the pressure on yourself to be like, I have to end up with this person, it might happen.
Yeah. Feeling ko nga, it's better to to just say what you want and like
And
one
just see
time,
what happens, yeah.
yeah, I sent a girl flowers and yung message baka kasi isipin mo friendship lang yung gusto ko sa'yo.
No, be transparent. You have to be transparent. I was transparent with this girl that I like her. I was like, okay, we'll be friends, but I like you. I was like, if you're uncomfortable with that, don't be my friend. Okay. And it just like happened naturally.
Would
be
it
transparent.
be an ick for you if a guy was pretending to be your friend?
Well, I wouldn't really say that's an ick. I would prefer it if a guy were also transparent kasi with me. A lot of people in my generation are stuck in situationships, like in that weird in-between. It's like a lot of members of Gen Z claim that they're avoidant, that they have abandonment issues. It stems from like childhood trauma, and all of them could be valid. But at the same time, I feel like it's just keeping us from pursuing real connection. It's like a lot of us have one foot out the door. We're always prepared to look for someone else. Sobrang uso sa amin ngayon yung may like roster. You're never talking or dating just one person at a time. You always have to prioritize like self-preservation. And I'm a hopeless romantic. Laki ako sa chick flicks. I love like the idea of having a soulmate, and this whole mind game thing that's going on in my generation, like in dating culture today, na you always have to look after yourself. Like you always have to pretend that this guy that you're seeing is seeing other people. So unahan mo na. And I'm like, this is how we live? Like, was it ever like that before? Did you ever take such preventive measures, or were you always like free to love? Did you always...
Direct, nung generation natin, walang situationship, pero merong MU.
May MU.
MU is the situation. I think MU is situation. It's the same thing.
It's just rebranding.
Mutual understanding, situationship. So,
Ano yan? Parang talking. We're talking.
yeah, talking stage.
No, but like situationships kasi, sometimes you do all the boyfriend-girlfriend stuff without the boyfriend-girlfriend.
The label.
It's an exclusive relationship, basically.
Yeah, at least MU.
That's also what MU is.
MU is like that. It's like you have a mutual understanding. You know you like each other.
I'm learning so much from my elders.
So I think even I was in high school, wala pang situationship term then. Kasi I'm dating myself as well. So MU is really also like, okay, we like each other, now what? And no one's making the next step. It's all like, okay, we're stuck at, we know we like each other. And we like act like a couple sometimes, but that's it.
But when you were MU with other people, were you allowed to see other people?
You're allowed because you're not boyfriend-girlfriend. So bahala na if you get hurt.
So rebranded.
And so you
It's rebranding,
just hurt people all over because of...
I think from the start.
Iba lang ang branding before.
Yeah, I think if you respect your own like standards, like for example, if you're gonna date other people, let's not date na now. If you're in the same boat as me as exclusively dating, oh my gosh, like my current relationship, I was so transparent when we started dating. This is exclusive. As soon as you like consider someone else, let's not date anymore. And like I think if you're over transparent, there's less chance of you getting hurt. Because like, okay, they'll be, ayoko nun. Then you both leave. That's it.
Direct, ikaw, nung panahon may roster ka rin ba?
You know, I didn't have an MU kasi ano ako nun marupok. No, I mean, no, hindi naman. Parang it's more of, I was such a romantic na, kasi my parents, parang ganda ng love story nila. And then my friends, yung parents nila, they were all together. So parang I just wanted to be with someone. And so when I had a boyfriend, I had a boyfriend in high school. Tapos nun, parang feeling ko, this is the guy I'll marry na. Parang ganon. So I was always with a guy, like this one was 7 years. And then I was so hurt, nag-rebound ako, then 2 years. And then after that, yun yung parang, wait, stop na muna. Parang medyo let your heart heal. And then when I was dating someone, na sabi ng dad ko, anak, ipahinga mo na muna yung heart mo. So parang before...
Parents are involved in the...
Yeah, they're protecting you.
Yeah, kasi I was excited. I wanted his approval. Parang I wanted my dad to approve kasi parang, I want him to like the guy I'm seeing. And then later on, parang na-realize ko, wait, self na muna. Parang why am I in a rush? Why do I want to get married? Why ba? And then I realized, wait, I want to be a director. And if I'm in a relationship and I want to get married, I might never be able to do that. So I focused on my career muna.
Oh my gosh, that's like golden advice because I accidentally learned that. Like, if you prioritize being single, that's when they like you. Because like, if you make your personality, I want a girlfriend, that's the ick. Like, they won't want you. They're like, bakit wala kang girlfriend? No one wants to go with you. And you're making it your personality also that you're single. Like, don't make your personality that you want someone. It should be like you're sturdy enough by yourself that you can add someone else in the mix. So.
Or parang you want to get married right away. Kasi parang, syempre yung iba, especially depende sa age. Kasi if you're in your 20s, and then I know that in the 20s now, no one really wants to get married right away. Parang ang daming goals, ang daming like, for yourself muna, career, ganyan. So when you say na parang, I want to get married, parang, natatakot yata. Parang, that becomes like an ick to others. But then you'll find someone, that's what I believe in. Parang when you think too much about what the other person is gonna say, are we gonna click? Sometimes it's just gonna happen. You don't think too much about it. Kasi sometimes parang we prejudge. We prejudge what's gonna happen. We anticipate that it's gonna be wrong or it's not right. It's just gonna happen. It's something that's organic. That's what love is.
I have this friend actually, super hopeless romantic, babae din, like, and she was like 29, no boyfriend since birth. And always like, I want like a guy who's obsessed with me. Ganun. Everyone's telling her like, you're too choosy. No guy's gonna be like a hopeless romantic like you, naka-level mo. And then she met a guy exactly as crazy as her. And they were like madly in love. And I think like after 1 year, they got married. So it's really like, don't settle for it. They don't match.
Tsaka you'll never know. Like my husband is a friend from high school, but we never liked each other romantically. We were friends and then parang never saw each other romantically. We were involved with other people. It's very When Harry Met Sally. That's why I love that.
Yeah, 12 years and then they got married.
So parang ganon kami. That was our story. That's why parang, and one day on our 20th year reunion, parang suddenly, we felt something. It's weird na parang, 20 years after high school, that's when you feel it. And it can happen because people evolve. He's not the same person from high school. I wasn't the same person from high school. So you start looking at someone differently. You may have had an ick on someone now. 10 years later, you see that person. It's different because you're different. He's different.
Yeah.
That sounds like a star cinema movie. Direk,
Well, that's one question I have. Because like these stories, I hear a lot of them and I feel hopeful listening to them. But at the same time, it's a common trait among people from my generation to be so cynical, to be like so jaded. Sometimes I watch rom-coms with friends and things that, like the meet cutes or parang the kilig moments, suddenly we're watching it as like NBSB 25-year-olds and we're like, yeah, right. Parang as if talaga na mangyayari yun. Before, we would approach it with like such optimism na, hi, I hope that happens to me. Do you have any advice for my fellow cynical, jaded, loveless members of Gen Z? Like, how do we overcome that and I guess overcome getting the ick and, open ourselves to love?
I guess like, oh wait, you can go ahead. You can go ahead. No, I was just gonna say that stop fixating on it. Like, keep your mind occupied with other things. Like, this is a thing I've seen time and time again with like all my friends who are frustrated with being single. When they give up and just be like, you know what? No, I'll focus on gymming. Nah, I'll like focus on my hobby. I'll focus on my career. Biglang 3 months later, may girlfriend na or boyfriend na. So it's like when you don't fixate on it. And they became less cynical about relationships also. Like, I remember this one friend I had, his topic every time we'd hang out was like, why is this girl always ghosting me? Why is this girl this, that? And then for 3 months, he was just like, you know what? I'll focus on the gym now. And then every time we hung out, he's talking about gym facts, ganun. And then he got with a gym girl, like in like 3 months. So it's like, focus on yourself and don't be cynical about dating because that's gonna push people away, I think. Yeah.
Me naman parang I think, kasi I know that feeling. I know that feeling of being cynical, especially if you've been hurt. And the hurt isn't just from a relationship. It can be your parents' relationship. It can be coming from a broken home and you know that, okay, love doesn't exist. Because my parents, I saw that. And you can't dictate that to a person na parang, hey, don't be cynical. Because that's their own personal experience. But, love happens. And it just hits you. So you can be cynical now, but believe that it can happen. That's all I can say. Kasi I can't tell you and, convince you because you have your own burdens, you have your own backstory. So, but it happens. Even to the most cynical, even to the hardest heart, love can happen.
Oops, correction, fluid, so don't be cynical na sinabi ko. But I try to avoid fixating on the cynical part. And I realize sometimes, because trust me, also for like that stint I had on dating apps for 5 years or something, on and off naman, did the whole 5 years, I was very cynical also. I'm like, this person's too good to be true, or this person like, it's like toxic right away. What if it'll get better? Like hopeful then become cynical, hopeful, cynical. So I guess like when you just don't think about it too much, because it might also like,
Yeah, it just happens.
the cynicism will also like sometimes get the better of you. It'll like it'll help you not get into a relationship because you're too cynical. But a little cynicism, actually my point, it helps you a bit. Like it helps you avoid like things you'd rather not go through, which are may hurt.
You have to also, when you want to fall in love, you have to also decide on it. It's a decision that you make too. Because you have to decide to open up your heart. Because, you can be cynical and it's only just superficial lang yun or parang nasa surface lang siya. But deep inside you want. Ask yourself then, do you really want to fall in love? Do you want to find someone? And if you do, open your heart and open yourself up to it. Kasi parang kunwari, you want pero parang iwas ka naman ng iwas. You don't go out naman. You're just locked inside your condo or how will you find someone? I mean, like, I remember this, I had a friend who was like calling me from a seminar in Cebu. Sabi niya, May, guess what? I'm in Cebu, I'm in a bar, and sobrang ganda ko. Hinihila nila ako lahat dito, pinag-aagawan ako. Where was I? I used to smoke then. I was in the fire exit smoking alone in a dark fire exit. So parang ako, nangaasar ka ba? Na ako, I'm alone, I'm single, I'm in a dark fire exit. And then sabi niya, choice mo yan eh. It's your choice to be in a fire exit smoking on a Saturday night alone when you can be out meeting people or out, joining activities of, then meet people of similar interests. It's a choice you make too.
It's so fascinating because it's like a spectrum of what's right and what's wrong. It's like a whole gray area. Because on the flip side, I'm so thankful that my girlfriend now was cynical for the longest time. Na wala siyang boyfriend. I was like, thank God she was cynical.
And buti na lang andun ka as a friend.
Yeah. That wasn't my technique. I genuinely wanted to be just her friend. But I was also transparent with like, okay, if you start dating someone, I don't know if I can be your friend. Like that. I was like transparent. Like, I don't know if I can be your friend once a boyfriend steps in. So, yeah, just be transparent and I guess don't make it too black and white. Don't make anything too black and white.
And to direct May's point, no, may kasabihan nga tayo, daig ng malandi ang maganda. Di ba?
So,
no, but no, but one thing I would say as an older generation is that we take things too seriously when we're young. Like, every heartbreak is like the end of the world. And then 5 years later, you'll look back and that was so stupid. And so go out there, make wrong decisions, make bad choices, date the wrong people, right? And 5 years later, it won't matter. And so I think that's what I find weird about Gen Z na this is such a courageous generation. They care about so many causes, and yet when they need to put their hearts on the line, parang ayaw nila tumaya. You need to do that. Parang, and now is the best time to make those mistakes. Kasi parang, ano ka pa yung katawan mo, tsaka yung puso mo, resilient pa. Kaya pang parang elastic ka pa kahit madagukan.
That's when you'll know then what your non-negotiables are. That's when you will know, okay, what works for me, what doesn't work for me. By meeting people, by making mistakes, by, getting your heart broken. And it's not, this is what my dad said. Okay, so after that 7-year relationship ended, I was crying, my eyes were talagang magang-maga. Sabi ng dad ko, he just hugged me and he said, Anak, there's life after a boyfriend. True. And that was how many years ago? And yes, I am here. I found the right guy. Yeah. Don't make it the end of the world because, you still have a whole life to live. Yeah. And then if you do get hurt, the next one, alam mo na. Don't make the same mistakes. Alam mo na yun, mamaya you still fall for the same guy. Para, ay nako.
Pattern na yun.
Oo.
And oh my gosh, on the topic of like heartbreak, sometimes you think like, oh, I'll never find someone better. Tapos when you get with your next partner, you're like, buti na lang pala that didn't work out.
Yeah.
Like the one you were so sad about, it's like, thank God it didn't work out. Like you're gonna be so sad about it now, but in 5 years, you're gonna be so happy it ended. So yeah.
Derek, you mentioned something about looking for non-negotiables. And I think that's an important concept that maybe members of my generation should ingrain instead of like fixating on these superficial icks. Instead, like try to look for parang non-negotiable traits nga like within the partner. Something about like principles, values maybe. Instead of like, oh, I don't like his haircut or I don't like the color of his shoes. Guilty. But yeah.
But I went through that. I mean, I think it's a part of it. Kasi sa umpisa, di ba, it's usually attraction. Usually it's attraction. Then, but if you're not physically attracted, and usually that's where it starts. I mean, when you're younger, it starts from physical attraction. Bihira naman yung, well, I know of a few younger people na sinasabi, I like talking to her. Pero mostly it's because attracted eh. And it changes, it evolves. Your taste changes because, of course, you realize what's important. You realize later on na it doesn't matter pala kung purple ang hair niya. Kasi I can talk to this person and then parang we can, you know, we can laugh about the same stuff and then parang pareho kami ng values. You know, those things come out eventually by meeting people, by dating. If you'll never know that from the first relationship or from the first person that you meet. So you have to go and put yourself out there too.
Like learn to invest in people.
Yeah,
Instead of just like throwing them away. Yeah, I guess
exactly.
Yeah, which reminds me, no, yung sa sinasabi ni Direk about talking to people. A few years ago, so not to date myself, I was exchanging BBM messages, BlackBerry messages with this woman. She's a television, I don't want to be too specific because
That industry, in that industry, the television.
Anyway, she was working on camera in the TV industry. We were exchanging BBM messages and she asked me for my email address. She wanted to send me something she wrote and I was an editor and okay, game, send me, binigay ko na email ko. And then she sent me her manuscript and it was a mess. Like, she couldn't write, she couldn't mali-mali grammar, she couldn't write string two sentences together. So parang, oh my God, what a turn off. Pinatingin ko pa dun sa mga co-editors ko. Tingnan mo to, may pag-asa ba to? Wala talaga. So, yun yung ick. Did I stop talking to her on BlackBerry Messenger? No.
Yeah, next fine.
She was very attractive and she was a TV personality. So I'm thinking now, like, which one is more shallow? If I stopped talking to her because she didn't write well, or I continued talking to her because she was a very attractive TV personality. So, yeah, it's all about balance and values.
Yeah, knowing what's important to you. Kasi yun, you can get past it. Parang pwedeng, pero sige, I can turn a blind eye on that because, you know, it depends what matters to you.
Yeah, and you know what the deal breaker was? She dated someone else.
That's a real deal breaker, yeah. Because if you're still around while they're dating someone else, that's like a whole different territory of toxic already.
Saka when you get older, like yun nga, when I was saying, diba, when I was younger, ganyan, you get your heart broken, etc. Later on, you'll know what you want na eh. So I was dating my husband, well, boyfriend then. Tapos we were already going on our 3rd year. Eh ano na ako nun eh, I was in my late 30s. So parang, teka, ano ba to? Saan ba to papunta? And I know what I want. I want to get married still. And I still want to have a family and, you know, give it a try. So I told him, I talked to him, I said, honey, where's this headed? I mean, are we just gonna be like boyfriend, girlfriend forever? Or parang, do you have plans of marrying me? Kasi parang, kung hindi, at maging friends na lang tayo. Kasi parang marami naman akong companions. And you'll be a companion na lang din and a friend. But I wanna give myself that chance. Because I'm in my late 30s. And my biological clock was ticking. So, and if it, parang kung hindi talaga, if he doesn't see me that way, edi na tayo. Parang at least let's be clear about it. But, before you reach before you're able to make that decision or before you know what you want, parang it comes from experience too. it comes from, several relationships or, being out there. You know exactly what you want. Parang you're ready. You know that this is what you want. And if this person isn't ready, na parang stop wasting my time because time is moving so fast. Okay. And especially for women, if you're thinking about, yung parang kagaya niyan like me, I prioritized my career. So I sacrificed my biological clock. And that's one thing that I gave up. During my time, wala pa nung mga freezing of eggs and all. But parang now, those are things that you have to think about because if you keep putting it back, pushing it back, there are things that you will be sacrificing in the long run. You have to know also, am I someone who wants to get married or hindi? Do I want to have kids or hindi? These are things that you also have to think about. But I know that when you're in your early 20s, you don't want to think about those things. You just want to build your career. You want to, prioritize yourself first. But these are things that you should be there, hanging, you have to think about those things. Because time is moving fast. Time is fleeting.
Mm-hmm. And to that point, to my earlier point about being young and being old, like 25-year-old Mae wouldn't have been able to have that conversation with her partner the way, right? Exactly. So parang nagpa-power up ka rin na alam mo what you want, you know how to have this conversation, and you don't have to play games anymore about dating.
You know what happened to me then? My boyfriend of 7 years said, okay, so he's the one who wanted to get married. And then parang he was saying, so what, maybe in next year, 2 years? And then I said, because I wasn't a director yet then. I was a long way to go. I had a long way to go. I was just a production assistant pa lang nun. So parang, I said like, what, 3 years, 4 years? And then he said, 3 years, 4 years? So iba yung state ko during that time because I still had goals. I wanted to achieve this. I wanted to reach my dreams. So if hindi kayo aligned, right away, there's something wrong. It's probably not gonna work out because he's on a different plane, you're on a different plane.
That's a non-negotiable.
Mm-hmm.
That's
exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So, I wouldn't be saying na parang, saan ba ito papunta? No. At natanong ako nun, where is this headed? Pero when he broke up with me, syempre,
Yeah, of course. It was so long. It was so long.
I guess thank you for the free therapy session for me and all members of Gen Z who are avoidant and struggling with abandonment issues. There is hope for us, which I am glad to report based on the stories of the generations that came before me. So thank you so much, guys, for this enlightening talk, for this hopeful talk. I guess it just taught me to open my heart. Yeah. So yeah.
put yourself out there.
Put myself out
Don't
there.
live in the friend zone.
Whoa.
And love happens even to the hardest of hearts.
Wow.
And try not to use dating apps too much. It's like use real life situations where you meet people.
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
Human connection.